doing? This is Benjamin Vigil back with the Montes Vigil Family Forum. So, some of you may have noticed the slight change to our name, at least the name of this channel. A few people reached out to me and said, "Hey, how come you didn't name it Montes Vigil Family Forum? Because we are Montes Vigils." I said, "Well, that's true. I just wanted to simplify it a little bit, but now that thinking about it, and with everybody reaching out saying I should change the name, now the name of the channel is the Montes Vigil Family Forum, which actually um, does match the Facebook page now, so I guess that's probably a good thing. So anyway, I wanted to go to a website. This is on Google. It's called Beyond Origins of New Mexico Families, and this happens to be the page that's dedicated to the Montes Vigils. Okay. Now, what's interesting about the Montes Vigils is that there are most of the research you're going to see on Facebook channels and on websites you're going to see about the Vigils of New Mexico. Okay, now New Mexico was at one time Mexico, but there are Mexico Vigils as well. But that's a separate video, which is kind of interesting something that I kind of ran into. But anyway, let's go ahead and look. And if you wanted to find a little bit of information about Francisco Montes Vigil in one site, at least kind of some place you can go to get a little bit of history and maybe learn a little bit about our great 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 grandfather, however many great 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 greats there are that you have. Um, Talks a little bit about him and a little bit of information that you can start from and maybe do some of your own family research to see how exactly you might relate to him. But anyway, so let's go ahead and read a little bit. So Capitan Francisco Montes Vigil died 11 September 1730 and was buried in Santa Cruz de la Cañada. His burial record, sorry, my Spanish sucks. His burial record recorded in 1731 gives his age at death as 80. So he was born about 1650. His wife died 14 years later the 19th of November 1940 or 1745 and was also buried at Santa Cruz. Boy, if she died in 1945, she'd have lived a long time. Her name was recorded as Maria de Enciso y Jimenez, and she was described as being over age 50. During these times, they didn't, it's not like everybody carried a driver's license around or anything like that or an ID. So, there's only certain records that were recorded, like baptismal records, marriage records, stuff like that. So, Marilyn Herrera Britton made a valuable and important contribution to the Montesville family genealogy. She uncovered baptismal records for two children of Francisco Montesville and Maria Jimenez de Enciso and shared her findings on the Facebook page of New Mexico Genealogical Society. If you're not already a member and you deciding that you want to go ahead and start doing some research, you should go to that Facebook page. It's a great place to go and post stuff, ask questions. On my page also, but like I said, I definitely use the New Mexico Genealogical Society as a source. So Maria Montes Vigil received the sacrament of baptism on September 3rd, 1685. Um, Daughter of Francisco Montes and Maria Jimenez, Maria's godmother was Maria de Santillan. Um, and then it says Juan Montesville, son of Francisco Montesville Mulatto, and Maria Jimenez Espanola, was baptized on March 20th, 1689, as recorded in the Book of Baptisms in the Church of, in that particular church. So his godparents were Mateo Eranimo and Maria Rodriguez. So what's interesting, it is curious that Francisco Montesville and his son were given a caste designation of mulatto, indicating they were considered to be part African. Okay, we know that the name of Francisco's mother is not known and that he was acknowledged as the son of a man named Juan Montes Vigil, who owned several black slaves and servants. Could Francisco have been an offspring by a black woman in the household of Juan Montes Vigil? Curiously, there does not appear to be any later records from New Mexico that indicate Francisco Vigil was mulatto. Instead, he was credited as mestizo, as being part Indian. More research is needed to help answer these questions. So, so that is kind of a debate within, genealogy buffs about our family is whether Francisco Montes Vigil was the offspring uh, of possibly a servant or a slave owned by his father, or whether perhaps he was part part Native American. I would It wouldn't surprise me if all three were true, But yeah, that is kind of a debate, I guess you can say. The newly uncovered baptismal records of Juan is for an elder son of Francisco Montes Vigil, Maria Jimenez de Enciso, and not the same person as the younger son of his couple named Juan Montes Vigil, who married Inez Lopez, and then Antonio Nicolosa Lujan. Both of the baptismal records uncovered and extracted by Marilyn Herrera Britton are revealing. The first record places the Montesville Jimenez de Enciso couple in the town of Agua Calientes in 1685. 3 years later, in 1688, Maria Jimenez, wife of Francisco Montesville, then resident of Zacatecas, sold an iron brand to Nicolas Miguel, resident of the jurisdiction of Agua Calientes. So, yeah, kind of some interesting factoids there. Montes Vigil's wills and record of passage. In 1997, John B. Colligan presented information gathered from his research efforts in collaboration with those of Dr. Rick Hendricks of the University of New Mexico's Vargas Project concerning genealogical information about the ancestry of Francisco Montes Vigil. While conducting archival research in Zacatecas, Mexico, Colligan located 2 wills of Juan Montes Vigil, a native of New Mexico City, native of Mexico City, and a resident of Zacatecas. The wills are dated October 16th, October 2nd of 1682 and April 25th of 1683. It appears that he thought he was going to pass away twice, and apparently didn't pass away the first time, but then decided to write a second will. Or maybe decided to write a will and then rewrite it later. In the second will, Juan Montes Vigil identified Francisco Vigil, Montes Vigil, husband of Maria Jimenez, as his natural or illegitimate son. According to the wills, Juan Montes Vigil was a son of Juan Montes Vigil was the son of Juan Montes Vigil and Catalina de Herrera Cantalana, both deceased and natives of the Kingdom of Castilla. So my understanding is that Juan Montes Vigil II is the one that actually came to the New World and was and then gave birth to a Juan Montes Vigil III, who was the father of Francisco Montes Vigil. See the section below for additional details. So the actual wills, let's go ahead and click on. So this is the actual wills that you can come and read. Okay. Now that would make this video extremely long, so I'm just going to go through it. But I'll put this in the link to this site so you guys can read this yourselves. Let's see. In addition, it was discovered that Juan Montes Vigil, the husband of Catalina Herrera Cantalana, was a native of the parish of San Martino de Sierra, Spain, who had sought passage to the New World as an aide to Don Jacinto Olmos. Okay. Colligan extracted the record of passage while doing research in Sevilla. A summary of the record of passage was first published in Herencia. The Spanish transcription of the record passage with the most pertinent information concerning the lineage of Montes Vigil family of the San Martino de Sierra area can be read at this link. So you can come to this link and read a little bit about the passage. The first page of the record passage carries the date of the 22nd of June 1611. That is something, isn't it? And it refers to Juan Montes Vigil as a native of the parish of that place, San Martino de Sierra, who was seeking to go to New Spain via Peru as an aide of Jacinto de Olmos, and certified statement was made and signed by Olmos on the 3rd of June 1611. The critical document begins on folio 4. This valuable document was prepared on behalf of Juan Montes Vigil by his uncle, Bartolome de Vigil. So he had an uncle, okay, who apparently was a councilman or man of some importance. Juan presented the document to the officials of the Casa de Contratación de las Indias in Sevilla. Bartolome de Vigil identified his nephew, Juan Montes Vigil, as a native of the parish, same place, and declared that his nephew was single and was not committed to anyone in the form of marriage or religious order. He continued to provide information about the nobility of the Vigil family, declaring that they were hidalgos or hijodalgos, and verifying that Juan Montes Vigil was a descendant of the ancient Casa y Salor, house and manor of Vigil, one of the oldest and most prominent families of the San Martino de Sierra area. Furthermore, Bartolome de Vigil named the parents of Juan Montes Vigil as Juan Montes Vigil and Maria de Vigil. Next, he named the paternal grandparents as Lucas de Vigil and Isabel de Vigil. The maternal grandparents he named as Francisco de Vigil and San Martino and Catalina de Arguillas. The last document that is transcribed is the statement of Martin Garcia, age 60 or more or less, a native of Consejo de Sierra and resident of the Vega de Poxo, in the parish of San Martino de Sierra. Garcia was an intimate friend of the Montes Vigil family and provided testimony in regard to their nobility. So they were a noble family. In addition, he identified the same parents and grandparents as mentioned by Bartolome de Vigil. All right. So it talks about, it goes on, and like I said, I don't want to make this video very long. I'll probably do another video on this, but it's just kind of interesting that, the area of Spain that our family came from, which is, like I said, the Asturias region of Spain, um, and that is our origins or the origins of the Vigil name. Now, in another video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how our ancestors actually go quite far back, and they just recently traced our family to Charlemagne or Charles the Great, who was the Holy Roman Emperor of Europe, many, many centuries ago, which is also very important because that allows us to it just kind of casts the net very, very wide as far as our family tree. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to kind of make you aware of this particular website, read you a couple of excerpts, and I'll go ahead and put this into the description of this video, of this report, I guess you can say. And you can go ahead and read and do your research, but it's like I said, it's a great place to go and start. Now, there's another website that I want to make you guys aware of. I just thought of it just now. But it's really helped me over the years, just trying to find information about. Let's see if my internet's actually working here. But it's called Family Search. Okay, and I'll go ahead and sign in here. And now this gentleman here, now his name is Jose Venustiano Carranza de la Garza. This is something that I found out earlier. Now this is not in the, well, at least it doesn't appear in the family line, but this is my the other side of my family. But what I like about this site is that it shows, or it's a great resource. So if you're looking up a particular name that you don't have a lot of information on, this is a great place to go to. My understanding, and I could be wrong about this, my understanding is that this site is run by the Mormon Church, who does extensive genealogical work, and like I said, it's a great resource if you're trying to look up information about your family. But anyways, guys, hopefully this helps you a little bit. I hope that you have just as much fun as I do when I look up these types of information. Then if you do have some trouble looking up something, I don't mind looking for you. You can go ahead and ask me questions in the description, and I'll see what I can find out and get that information over to you. All right, guys. Well, anyways, this is Benjamin Vigil, and I will talk to you guys later.